Mid, like they're actively engaging it with 2 players each side, so this could be very interesting.
This does mean that balcony, if CR4ZY'E decides to push out of this, should be relatively free, and he's going to be able to get out of there as Hunter comes in with kills spinning around. It's all going the way of Crazy. This stack has completely paid off, and Rops, who is watching Banana for a potential push, is now the last man standing. Can he get any kills before he drops? No, it's going to be a clean sweep for Crazy. He could lose his head. That could open up the site. He gets tagged down hard, but stops the push with his MP9, which is good news for Crazy. It means that Nexa can also retreat back over to B, who's thinking about rotating. So, solid start for Crazy again.
Yeah, well done to get the quick 5-on-4. Now Mousesports have to try to see what they can do at lane. Again, they do have smokes to put a smoke wall on pit and try to run lane. They also have them to use at Arch or Library, so it's really just up to them. They have very many different ways they like to split this A bomb site. They do favor this side of the map, and we'll see that a lot in gun rounds as well going forward, and we'll discuss that when we get there. But for now, it's them trying to figure out what they can do with just these deagles.
Not a lot for the time being. Rops tried a pot shot, but got tagged down to 24, and now Let Me can pick up the pace. Flashbang lands in. CR4ZY'E was fully flashed. 20 seconds to go. It's not going to be the second clean sweep in a row from Crazy, but it is going to be
in the world, in my opinion. But man, they've taken already so much damage from just utility.
Trying to overwhelm Nexa, but because of that Molotov, they were stuck in position. CR4ZY'E's burnt alive, and Nexa continues to drill bullets to faces. Frozen and Woxi make it just the main AWP. He did get a knife kill last round, so any more guns would be a solid result, but can't get it done, as you say. Minefield, and he has tripped. Smoke over towards the arches. Sorry, I forgot to press down my push to talk so Gus could hear me. Otto, in the meanwhile, though, has been found by Woxi. This is where that knife kill comes in so massively in the previous round, and they're going to be looking to push in. Carrigan, I thought he saw Letney at first, but he took a double take, and in that time he was found and fragged. The player advantage remains for Mousesports, but it's starting to get a little bit more tenuous towards the approach as a HE lands plumb on Frozen's face. So he goes down. Rop's going to try and push some aggression outside of the balcony, but he will meet Nexa, and now they're going to be moving the bomb over towards the B side of the map where Esperanto is all alone.
Yeah, indeed he is, and CR4ZY'E's already found him out. Trapped by the smoke, though, but still gonna win the fight just barely. He did take a fair amount of damage, but he does get the victory that allows Woxi to get this bomb planted. Now a 2v2 retake. There is no utility for Crazy to work with to try to isolate any angles or clear anyone out, but they do have a kit that buys them a little bit of extra time, but it's all gonna come down to aim duels.
Positioning could be important too, as both the terrorists have actually taken very passive angles at the back of the site. Woxi is watching from the shadow. Meanwhile, CR4ZY'E going to try and connect some more op shots.
Hunter and Nexa out of position. That's really the only thing helping them. That counter smoke, though, from Crazy is going to slow Mousesports down. Now, there is no flank or anything like that, so it's not as if they have to worry about their backside, but trying to break through this defense will be tough.
A burn kill. Molotov is going to claim a life, and the smokes and flashes are so well placed. He's completely stalled the push. Hasn't got any kind of momentum, lining up Esperanto with a wild spray through the smoke. Claims 2 kills and drops the bomb out. There could be an avenging frag, but they also have to worry about a potential flank round up through middle at this point to Mousesports. They can't really afford to do anything other than save. They've picked up the AWP, and a kill has gone the way of Frozen. Maybe because of the lack of economy that the CTs have, they're not going to bother trying to chase for these guns, or at least not properly. What?
Oh,
how did that miss?
I don't know, man. That looked dead on, in my opinion. Maybe he was
just a lone AK on Frozen. No grenades. It is pretty bare, to say the least. And looking from the CT's perspective, there's going to be no flash or smoke to proceed this peak, but Woxi doesn't need one. He's got a Desert Eagle and a bullet with Otto's name written all over it. He's picked up the AWP as Carrigan, and he's used it down range, trying to flick across the Hunter.
What?
No one can kill Carrigan, apparently. He is a tank. Meanwhile, Crazy, up against Deagles and an AK, are facing the very real
for a bit. They've really been able to pick it up.
Yeah, these were some of the same kind of errors that they were making at Gamer Legion. It's just that Gamer Legion weren't punishing them for it. Woxi through the smoke. It's an angle you're expecting to get peeked from. So why not just go for a crack at it? And the M4 still over on the B side. It's only Letni with a Zeus up close, who maybe can electrocute Rops if he peeks around the corner. Not quite. Rops was too fast on the trigger. Get wrecked.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good thought to have the Zeus in the close angle, but it was sniffed out in the end by Rops. He definitely knows all his angles and apartments. He's been playing that position on T side for quite a long time for this team. Even dating back to the old lineup, that's just kind of Rops' place. So handles that quite nicely. It will be 3-4 still in favor of Crazy, but Mousesports now hot on their heels. Starting to build up a really nice economy as well as the big thing. I mean, they're going to get this round flawlessly. Last round was pretty dominant as well, so you can see the bank's really building on some of these players. They're just going to have to rebuy utility next round, so they'll still have a few thousand in the bank per player. Meanwhile, Crazy's in kind of a buy-save rotation right now, seeing how their money is, unless they can win a few in a row. So definitely getting a good grasp. That's what I'm going to be looking for. But look at this quick exchange at Banana. Christian actually decides better up and backs out, but getting chaotic over here.
That re-peek is so cheeky from Nexa. Voxic had no idea. There's a flash in as well, and Karrigan through the smoke lands a headshot. Nearly gets a double, by the way, with Nexa on a measly 8 HP. Nearly jumped in front of the hail of fire.
And that's the type of fights you can get when you have two teams like this who are very high skilled and are very aggressive. They love to follow up picks. They aren't scared. They don't shy away from duels. And so you're going to see a lot of that scrappiness throughout this game, I'd imagine, as we do see Mousesports looking to complete operations on the A side of the map to finish off this round.
Was a couple of well-placed grenades, and there's a double stack over on quad. They're going to be looking to peek this one. They're going to get in each other's way. Letni, the spray control on point, lands a stray bullet into the head of Frozen, and Chris J was caught in no man's land, leaving Rops all alone. Not deployed. It's a double hit. Nothing one-dimensional about this. Two players up from the arches, but there's no flashbangs alongside it. They're all peeking. They're being knocked down across the map. Mousesports have got nothing going their way up until Frozen lands one and a second with the SG, keeping the dream alive. But the dream turning into a bit of a nightmare. Rops 1 on 3. Plenty of time because of how rapid they were into the site, but no control of the bomb and just one flashbang. He needs this next kill desperately. And he needs it pretty quickly. See if he can maybe draw away one of these CTs. He's making slow but sure movements up. He's seen Esperanto. It's a clean kill. Still 100 health remains. He's going to fake as if he's pushing arches and go back towards quad. The issue with this, though, is after a few moments, they're going to realize it's a fake and they're going to just bolster up again. So he's actually faking the fake, as it were. And he can actually try and move around the backside towards library, but he's decided to keep going on arch. The downside is there's an AWP trained right at him in the hands of Otto, and he will not be missing that slow peak.
Inside this fight really held his ground nicely and slowed down Mousesports. And then it was just a gallery for Crazy, but we see some apartments aggression this round. It does not work out at all. I'm not sure what that was, but Mousesports will say thank you very much, kind sir.
Felt a little bit forced to me. I mean, Crazy's been looking pretty good these last couple rounds in rifles, and they just go and play something like that. They're completely giving this round away. Unless we're going to see a valiant attempt on the site from Nexa.
Back to the drawing board on that one, Chief.
Back into a safe. Let me on balcony with the XM. It's unlikely they're going to go for too many peaks unless it's just behind flashbangs and aggression. But speaking of which, Mousesports at the top of Banana, or top of mid, pardon me, are going to start to push. At the same time they pushed top Banana. A two-pronged attack across the map, trying to keep the players at bay from the CTs. But Letni now, if he gets this timing right, the XM will shine in this kind of angle, in this kind of distance. So the terrorists aren't out of the woods just yet. It is looking good for them. They're starting to wrap around arches as well.
Yeah, I mean, they have all their map control covered. They still have Chris J holding presence at B. They're wrapping Moto. It is a double lane setup, and they do have one player watching out for an apartments push. But it's just, they could really get overwhelmed by this wrap.
Esperanto is going to peek. There's an AWP down there, though, in the form of Voxic plus an SG. If he peeks too far, he's going to lose his head. XM, and meanwhile, from Letni is good alongside the assist from Esperanto, but it was always going to be asking a great deal when it's that.
Clearing out another round, they will go to 5-6. There's no money there for Crazy. Just kind of spotting things from library to see, because they want to be able to jump on it right away as far as the rotation goes.
Here's another flash and push. This time it is going to be successful, but it's just the Mac 10. It's the expendable weapon from Chris J. He's just on a fact-finding mission. If you get kills, that's...
But maybe he wants to try to use it in a close position next round, like top banana or something like that.
Hold on, Esperanto. Oh, he's missed the first shot. And that's going to cost him both. He could have had 2 kills there easily. To be fair to Crazy, they have got 3 kills. Otto without any Kevlar's got to be very careful of Nate damage, but pulls back. Woxi has been put down. Otto may be tested again. He's going to have a player going towards his left and right. Sees the barrel of the gun. If he takes a shot and misses, he will be pushed by CR4ZY'E, and he will be a dead man. There's no one to help him out. He's just going to get fragged anyway, to be honest, regardless. There's CR4ZY'E around the corner. That's a perfectly timed flashbang into the peak, and the CT's doing their best to hold on. They do have the player advantage. Another flash, this time the pillar, and it's going to save Frozen's eyes from being burned out, though.
Yeah, good hold to at least slow things down and give time for Esperanto to come through CT spawn and assist this defense. They actually do have the man advantage on the Crazy side, so they're not doing too shabby, but that kill from Kerrigan changes everything. That means CT spawn is vulnerable. There's no rotation. Rops has gotten a kill as well from apartments. Now A is so wide open for the tanking. It's all on Letney and Pit. He's got no help.
Yeah, Nexa has no interest in even trying to come and help him out. He's half already thinking about just saving this. If Letney can get a kill, sure. I think Nexa puts himself in a position where he can quickly rotate. But the idea now is just as much damage as possible. They do have a kit in both players' hands, Molotov and Flashbang.
And Letney still has Pit, so I think that's why Nexa's trying.
Nexa sees the head. He's going to connect on it as well. Maybe Crazy going to pull this one off. Oh, it was so close to connecting onto Frozen. Molotov's been planted down on the site as well, and half the counts. It's how you finish it. Mousesport's finishing with a flurry. There's a player close. It's going to be Hunter. He's been swept aside by Frozen's SG. There's 2 players there anyway, and Rops has gone in on Otto, leaving Letney all alone again. 5-7 though, gonna rattle ahead of Rops. Gonna turn his attention towards Archis, trying to tap himself in. He's trying to make the hero play a reality, but he has fallen on his sword. And Mousesports again with a free A plant as a result.
Yeah, 2 Deagles in armor here for Nexa and Esperanto, but no utility, no kit. Saving the armor would actually be fantastic. However, we did see Esperanto trying to go for a frag at top middle. It does not work out, so now it's just Nexa holding. Maybe hoping someone will run down, he'll be able to get a kill and get a gun. Okay, not bad, but no real way to go grab that, so he will just retreat into Banana. And so Mousesports will go up 8-6, 1 round left to play in the half. When you consider the fact that Mousesports went down 3-0 due to a pistol round loss, they have made a lot out of this half on their T side. This is basically as good as it gets. Only dropped 3 rifle rounds.
Yeah, it has been impressive. This almost could have been like the Game of Legion matchup had they have taken their chances. I think CR4ZY'E's a dead man. Down he goes. Can he pick up the SG in time?
That's exactly the example I was
It's like half a second at the end. Like,
yeah, either way, shit done on a face of 3 time.
What an absolute nightmare of a trade that was. It's like both players, the magazine fell out of their gun, and they just stared at each other longingly. Finally, though, Hunter has been plucked down, but Letney now has a chance for 2, and we'll get them both. The bomb's also dropped, but he's not going to be able to add any more notches on his belt as he's been dealt with. But one of the best chances CR4ZY'E have had, it's sad to say, in a 3v3 potential post plant. But they are making moves quickly. There's a small gap in the smoke. Esperanto tries his hand. Meanwhile, Nex has already moved up close on the hay bales. No flashes to deter him either. And he knows there's at least 1 player in pit. He may even have an idea that they're both there. Frozen's still on the site. The bomb's in pit as well. It's not a cross on the site just yet. The flick across from Nexa. It's sublime. And it's drawn the attention away of Rops, who's got in for 2. He's only got 6 HP remaining, though. And he's being flanked from the side. Otto will get the final kill.
Hold the phone, though. Look at this from Mousesports.
Aggression up in the face. Not taking any time at all to get straight up into the tees. The bomb's been dropped out. Frozen's looking for a second and gets it. There was a millimeter of a chance at a frag, and he will land on it. Letney now, last player standing, sees the shadow around the corner, betraying Frozen, looking for a long-range affair, but was being flanked by Kerrigan down.
I feel like any moment, if like one of the quiet players decides to start popping off, they could really turn the tide of the game. I'm not sure what's going on this round. Letney's just like running around.
Delaying the inevitable. It has to feel like they're about to go into the blender. CR4ZY'E Has his finger on the trigger. Esperanto, though, has connected with his deagle. There's a nade from downtown, courtesy of Karrigan, who finds another one and will clean up the rest.
It's usually Chris J and Frozen playing it together, but Karrigan is really good at rotating between the sites and kind of doing these little crafty gimmick plays. This time it's just Voxic wide peeking with the scout on the Esperanto between the eyes. Holy shit. Get absolutely wrecked.
Expect more of that on Dust 2, by the way. That's coming up next, crazy. But yeah, what a passage of play to start the round off when Crazy finally have some rifles, finally have something to play behind, and just get absolutely annihilated by the scout. Instantly on the back foot.
It also like kills one of the main players they like to use to get banana control. Now it's just Let Me by himself, and he's just holding bottom, just waiting for any type of push. They're really trying to work middle. Kerrigan's in the closet, though. Will they check him? Voxic has the pot flash as well for Karrigan to peek with if he wants to, and indeed he does. Finds one. All right, man.
Okay, wow. Voxic.
Is he going to do it again? There's a player in apartments. Jesus Christ.
I have to say, he is the best scout player in the world for me. He has to be.
Yeah, he's definitely up there, man. No doubt about it. That's why, like, anytime Mouse Sports loses a pistol and you see the 4 deagles and 1 scout on the box, I'm like, yep, they could still win this round. Like, there's still a way, and they're so uncanny about how they do it. Letney does get 1 back at least, and B is actually open. He can't know that, though, obviously. As he is going to try to bring the bomb up middle.
Yeah, this is one of those situations where Mouse Sports need to chill out a little bit, because over-peaking it in SG could just be doom. Rops in graveyard. It's not the kind of position you're normally going to check with this amount of time left. You're looking at pit, you're looking at library, and then trying to check the site as well. 10 seconds to go. Rops has the nuts position. Letney is surely a goner. Unless he plants this safe, which he won't be doing so. And I can't even blame him. There's so many angles he has to watch out for when he goes onto A there. Or onto B, pardon me. No, A.
I'm just waving my arms around like Bernie Sanders, you know.
But I'd have to have like the creepy back massage while you're casting on camera from Joe. Good old Uncle Joe.
Good old Uncle Joe, man. Someone get Grandpa out. Oh, man.
No 4K for Frozen. And an M4 is going to trade hands. Meanwhile, up Banana. I was about to say Voxic is about to pounce onto Hunter if he's not.
Utility that's kind of broken out on top Banana, but now the execute seems to be coming in. Look at Frozen, a little bit of a gamble push through with the flash, but it nets him a great result.
It's going to be a third as well. That Molotov was just burning away the HP bar of Letney. And Chris J, this is such a frustrating angle. The smoke is just in his face. We can't actually see anyone from the coffins. Last player in his Nexa, last player to fall for Crazy. 13-7. Can't even get a foothold in Banana. They try and push it. They lose a lot of health. Otto, CZ. All right. Just CZ things. Rops is going to be dealt with swiftly. SG trades hands. And there is Kevlar. So that is a big win. Molotov onto Esperanto. Forces him out into the open. But be careful what you wish for, Chris J. That's a 1 straight between the eyes. And this is now...
Yeah, it's like kicking a hornet's nest right there with that fire, dude. Thought he was going to get himself a free kill. That's all but what happened.
It's now looking like maybe Crazy can do this after all, unless Frozen could be a hero, and 3 kills say he can. Molotov in, going to try and stop Otto from pushing, but he's already bypassed the Molotov. Smoke towards CT, gonna have to focus towards the site, but there is Karrigan with the M that, and Karrigan is one of the best people possibly to do that. We really started to see him grow more as a player, get a lot more confidence too, as Mouse Sports.
He's also brought Rots back as well, it seems like. Really got him back involved on this team as another star player. Already a good start for Mouse Sports in this round. They have a kill, and they have Nexa down to 2 HP. Bogdan's Law dictates that Nexa will now take the AWP because of it.
Smoke on to mid. Gonna stall Crazy a little bit longer. They do have 2 players just around the corner who are now starting to peak in the form of Letney. Also, you have to be very cognizant of library being an issue. Nearly a 2-for-1. They nearly lined up for Voxic's AWP. Letney will return fire. Smoke in, but there is Voxic with the repeat. Smoke in his eyes now, though. Needs to make sure he doesn't go too aggressive, but runs out onto Arch's mate.
I'm going to have to say maybe you shouldn't have did that. Maybe you just let that one go. but okay.
I'm down for aggressive play, but that is mental.
That was wild. I like had way too much faith in that flashbang doing him something. Still have a 3-on-2 though, to be fair, and they still have Nex on 2 HP, so our chances of winning are still very high. Ooh.
Yeah. Now they're getting a little bit more sketchy. 10 seconds to go though. Oh no, he showed himself too early. Rops is peaked.
He got forced to from the player from balcony.
And now they go back to that Woxi play and they think, well, this should have been tied up easily, and instead this is potentially a 14-8.
Yeah. I mean, when it first happened, fair enough. You still have a 3-on-2, probably still win, probably not that big of a deal. But once the graveyard player gets caught, we'll see if Karşi can clutch, though.
It's possible. Molotov into pit. He's going to try and draw away the AWPer and just push very aggressively onto the site. There's the first frag. Going to be spinning around. Needs to find Nexa quickly. The bomb is ticking away. Gets the second kill as well. Does he have enough time? He should have enough time. No, this is going to be really close. He's actually pulled it off. CR4ZY'E.
Remember, they got the first map for free, being from the upper brackets. The next map is going to be Dust 2, which is Crazy's first pick in the series. There's Woxi putting us one step closer to that Dust 2 game as he's taken Hunter out.
Flash is being exchanged over on Banana. Mouse Sports do eat one right in the face, but there's no push behind it because they toss one in as well. Plus the smoke. Now they're going to start to push through. CR4ZY'E, the hero of the last round. Can he do any more? Yes.